I had dropped out of school. I was a hippie and I was living in northern Arizona, and I had no money, and I was actually working for a cattle rancher. I was a cowboy. I started as a cowboy. And I was actually riding the range, and I grew up on a horse. My family had horses in Scottsdale, so I could ride. And I was a broke-ass hippie. I still remember I had 8 cents in my pocket for like a month. This was in a town called Jerome, which is a ghost town in northern Arizona, where it used to be a big copper mine there, and the copper mine, you know, sucked out all the copper. Then they left, and all of these hippies from Phoenix decided we'd move up and move into the miners' shacks. Roger had a band in Phoenix called the Red, White, and Blues Band, and they used to come up with their gear on the weekend, because here we are, a bunch of hippies living, you know, walking around. You know, we lived in this little cabin. We moved down to a cabin by a creek, Sycamore Creek, so we had this big swimming hole, and we had, you know, oh, it was so great. And they would come up with their gear, and they'd set their gear up, bring a generator, and they'd set it up and just play to nobody, play to the desert. It was unbelievable. It was so great. At one point, Prairie got a scholarship to the San Francisco Art Institute. After his senior year of high school, instead of going to college, he was going to go to the Art Institute. And he said, well, I gotta go. And I got a scholarship. And so Roger went, okay, well, let's just move to San Francisco then. Well, you know, I don't want to break up the band, so we're moving. So they asked me to come along. Little did I know that I was going to be the schlep at that point. I was driving the truck, cooking the dinner, hauling the gear. I had no clue about equipment, absolutely no clue technically whatsoever. I knew enough to turn the ON switch to the ON position. That was it. And so we moved to San Francisco and started doing gigs and playing. And at one point, another band from San Francisco, Bill Spooner's band, the Beans, they moved up because of us telling them how great it was. And we eventually merged the two bands together. And that became the Tubes.